This is your Weather Xtreme video for Wednesday, December the 28th. Wow. The year 2016 is winding down as we're heading to the end of the last full week of December. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks so much for tuning in. Satellite image this morning shows that we have a good deal of relatively high clouds across much of Alabama and much of the southeastern United States. There's also a good deal of fog along the Gulf Coast. The front moved through our area yesterday, slowly but steadily, now perched along the Gulf Coast, and that frontal boundary helping to create a good deal of fog over that area. In the upper atmosphere, we have generally zonal flow across the southern tier of the United States, and it looks like we'll be developing a little broader trough over the eastern half of the country. You see that trough over the Dakotas in south central Canada will be moving our way. Temperatures this morning are a bit cooler than we've seen over the last several days. Much of central Alabama generally in the upper 40s, a little bit cooler in the Tennessee River Valley where they were able to clear out, and Muscle Shoals dropped down to the upper 30s, and Huntsville around 40, and 34 at Fort Payne. So a little bit cooler up there. As I mentioned, dense fog is a factor along the Gulf Coast. If you have plans to drive that way, fog should burn off by 9 to 10 o'clock or so. We also still see a number of winter weather advisories across parts of New England and eastern New York, as well as in the northern Rockies. QPF is very, very encouraging. We're not going to end the drought, but it looks like we've got two events coming. One tonight and into early Thursday. Should be over for central Alabama by the middle of the day, by noontime or so. But the second event coming late Saturday and into Sunday and Monday that could provide on the order of 1.5 to 3 inches of rain over the area. Storm Prediction Center has a small marginal risk area over parts of northwestern Alabama, northern Mississippi, and southeastern Arkansas for today, which is primarily for, as the warm front comes north, for that warm front and a little marginal instability late this afternoon and into the overnight hours. The main threat likely to be a little bit of large hail and or some damaging wind. Day 2, there is no risk, severe weather risk areas, as we have just thunderstorms along the front as it moves off the southeast coast of the U.S. And then on day 3, no thunderstorms at all. All right, the 06 CGFS model run, and there's our map for today. And we have, what I would call weak high pressure over the area. We're certainly not getting any good return flow, but that warm front, or that front, is likely to come back to the north. You can see where it's got some of the gray shading indicating some very small risks of showers, that we may see a small risk of a shower. In the upper atmosphere, the flow remains zonal today, but we are cognizant of the front, or the trough that is coming into the central part of the country, and that is going to be digging in nicely on Thursday. So that's going to be responsible for a fast-moving cold front that will move through the area. Let's take some intermediate times. There's the time, midnight tonight, and you can see the front coming in very, very quickly and producing the possibility of some showers over a good portion of the southeastern U.S. And then by midday on Thursday, the front is well past central Alabama and down into the southeast coast and stretching down into of the Gulf of Mexico. So if anybody has plans for the Birmingham Bowl, it looks like the rain should be over, and we may actually be seeing clearing skies. However, if you notice that nice northwest surface flow, we will be cooling off, so temperatures are likely to be in the 50s during the day, in holding steady or dropping slightly, so you'll want to take note of that if you're planning to dress for the Birmingham Bowl. The trough really digs in just off the East Coast by Friday, so that's going to be a rather chilly day for us as temperatures struggle to actually get to around the 50-degree mark. By Saturday, we're coming back under a bit of a zonal to slightly southwesterly flow, and this is the flow that's likely to pick up moisture out of the Pacific and bring it our way. The GFS a little bit faster here on bringing in some rain during the first half of the day on Saturday, especially to our west. I think we stay dry for the first half of the day on Saturday, but with a number of different disturbances that you see here coming out, we see one, over basically northwest Alabama. We see another one over Kansas, and we see another one back in New Mexico. Basically, with these little disturbances coming through this fast flow, we're going to have a period of rather wet weather. So Sunday looks like a bit of a wet day with a little surface low along the Gulf Coast in the vicinity of New Orleans or so. And the final little disturbance in that flow comes out on Monday. And so it looks like we'll stay fairly wet through Monday. And it's questionable as to how wet it'll be on Monday. I'm hoping that it'll stay wet. But as the flow becomes once again southwesterly and we get another front into the area, Tuesday we have a bit of a transition as we get that little surface low developing over north central Arkansas. And so that front would move through very quickly on Tuesday, and that would bring an end to the rain as we see broad troughing on Wednesday over about the eastern 2/3 of the country. So that'll help to cool things down and also to dry us out here as by Wednesday it looks like our surface flow goes northwesterly, so we're going to cool off once again as the front gets down into the southeast coast and the northern Gulf of Mexico. Looking out into voodoo country, by Thursday that trough is pretty well established, but it's not going to stick around a real long time. We kind of go nearly zonal, but then we see another broad trough around the 9th of January, and then by the end of the period, we're back to a slightly southwesterly flow, nearly zonal, as the bulk of the dynamics are off the California and the west coast of the United States. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. Expect to have the next one posted between 7 and 7:30 on Thursday morning. In the meantime, check back with the blog for notes on Alabama's weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Enjoy the day and Godspeed.